evening and welcome to it. This is Chess and Wine. My name is ADB Love. Now back with it's still more public service announcement, but now it's like an update on what's happening in and around the Eastern Cape. Because remember, there's been a lot, and obviously a lot of administrative issues with the executive board in South Africa currently. They revolve around the matter of the Eastern Cape, because we know that is a very testing situation. I think it's a situation that is meant to expose a whole lot of cracks somewhere in the systems. And I think the Eastern Cape has been one of the most vocal province, in fact, right, against because they came forward. So maybe that's why they're coming at them, we say, in a way. Because remember, Eastern Cape kind of took a stance officially against the issue of players unfairly benefiting or unfairly playing in the what do we call it? The essay close in the African youth, a matter that I keep mentioning over and over again. But quite interestingly, oh yeah, bear with me. That's what I'm going to ask, because it's going to be a bit of a long video, obviously, around the issues of Eastern Cape being dissolved. And the stance that it's so impressive what is happening in the unity around the Eastern Cape that is currently happening with the regions, all standing together and saying we are for our interim structure that was put in place by us, and we understand the work that it's doing. Let me just read you some of the letters. But first, let's look at the letter from the Executive Board of Chess South Africa that is dissolving the Eastern Cape as a region. So it says a letter to it came out on the 3rd of July. Remember when it came out? And it says to Mr. Lewaks that for the attention of the Eastern Cape Chess Association Interim, Eastern Cape Interim Management Committee, the Eastern Cape Sports Confederation, Eastern Cape Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, Regional Executive Committees, and the Eastern Cape Chess Community. Obviously, by email it was sent to Lewaks. And there it says, Dear Mr. Lewaks, regarding the dissolution of Eastern Cape Chess Association Interim Committee, the Chess SA Executive Board reflected and discussed the state of chess in the Eastern Cape at its Expo meeting held on 27 June 2024. The decision of the Executive Board, we understand. The Expo is deeply concerned about the lack of unity and progress to conduct democratic elections, and therefore resolved the following. You see, the lack of unity is deeply concerned about the lack of unity and progress to conduct democratic elections. That's where they resolve to obviously dissolve the committee. But now look at the unity now from this point of view. So yeah, I'm just going to try and because everything else is just about the suspension, right? But then look at there's a letter from Nelson Mandela Bay that was dated 26 July 2024. It says a request to bypass administrative process. But maybe before I go there, remember after this, in this letter, the Eastern Cape, what do we call it? The Expo has decided that they were going to appoint an administrator, right? Let me just quickly go to the one where they appoint an administrator. Yes. There's actually so many letters from the lawyer on this matter. So here's another one for the attention of the Eastern Cape Chess community. It says, we would like to inform you that Chess South Africa, represented by authorized person appointed to resolve the situation in the Eastern Cape Chess, we have decided to call for Chess South Africa supervised elections in the Eastern Cape. We sincerely believe that as the governing body of chess in South Africa, our task is to contribute to the resolution of a serious internal conflicts among our members federation, assisted by the Provincial Sports Confederation. So it goes on to say, we are aware of the responsibility for promoting the development of chess in the Eastern Cape, as well as the disastrous consequences of further delays in determining the permanent management of the Eastern Cape chess, of the Eastern Cape. We hereby present the terms of reference announcement. The administrator will publish reasonable conditions related to the elections, which is aimed to overcome the current situation. Chess SA hereby gives the terms of reference for the administrator as follows: to appoint an administrator and advisory to facilitate the good standing of regions and to ensure democratic elections of Provincial Eastern Cape Chess Association. The following members will assist the administrator: Chess South Africa appointed Advocate Freek Giza as an administrator for the Eastern Cape Chess Association, a regional representative of each region that is elected by Eastern Cape Chess Region will consult region with consulting rights. A nominated representative appointed by the Eastern Cape Sports Confederation with consulting rights. The appointments are effective from the date of this resolution and until results of eligible federation elections are approved by Chess South Africa. To authorize the administrator within his mandate to evaluate and send Chess SA requests about feeder rating events, to evaluate and send Chess SA requests about the participation of players in Chess SA and feeder competitions, to liaise with provincial authorities facilitating the resolution of internal matters if requested, to oblige the administrator to organize relevant consultation with the Provincial Sports Confederation, Chess SA Executive Board, and Chess SA Disciplinary Committee if required. So this is a disciplinary committee now. I'm just wondering. And all interested parties with reference for the elections in the Eastern Cape Chess Association to organize the Eastern Cape Chess elections as within 2 months from the date of resolution in such a manner that all interested parties should be guaranteed their rights to participate and to vote, subject to democratic procedures. Other members of the advisory committee have consulting rights for the above task. To invite a provincial sports confederation representative in order to monitor the elections procedure, or be a part of the elections commissions. To invite a representative of Chess SA, vice president or provincial representative to monitor the elections procedure. To the administrator and advisory committee shall set up an election task team to oversee the election process and shall also be responsible for the verification of regional good standing documents. Only regions in good standing will be allowed to participate in the provincial election. The provincial elections will be declared once 50 plus 1% of Eastern Cape regions will be declared in good standing by the advisory committee. All right, so we see now Advocate Giza is being appointed. So there's a letter now again from Chess South Africa now appointing Advocate Giza. It says here of Dear Advocate Freek Giza, subject in Eastern Cape Chess Administrator Appointment Letter. It gives us great pleasure to inform you that you have been appointed as the Eastern Cape Chess Administrator to lead the Eastern Cape Chess Association activities until the provincial elections are held. So it says your appointment terms of reference will be shared to you to urgently meet with the Provincial Sports Confederation, Eastern Cape Schools Chess and Regional District Chess Structure. We hope this is in order and will give you full support as you will account directly to the Executive Board of Chess South Africa. Sincerely, Andre Lewaks. There it is. And obviously, Frederick Giza signs it. Whew. This is crazy. And then afterwards, right? That's on the 24th of July. On the 24th of July. Then afterwards, we start getting these letters from the regions in the Eastern Cape. We'll start with the one from the Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union. And it says, Dear Sirs, regarding a request to bypass administrative process. Dear Sir or Madam, as the Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union, we are writing to let our grievances be heard. We do not acknowledge the administrator. We reject the appointment and are not welcoming any heresies, and we are not welcoming any heresies of a dissolved Eastern Cape Chess Interim Executive Committee. Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union will continue to work with the Eastern Cape Chess Interim Executive Committee that it was part of mandating. We recognize it as executing our mandate with the provincial council member. Do consider the union's letter and heed it. We request a smooth and transparent process. Thank you for your understanding. Regards, Ina Swartboy, Secretary of the Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union Interim. Right. So now, here's another one now. There's another letter from the OR Tambo Chess Union, another region. So that's 2. And apparently, there's 8 regions in the Eastern Cape, right? So that's 2 regions now. And the second region says, Dear attention to Mr. Andrew Lewaks. That was on the 1st of August. It says, Letter of intent of support for the Eastern Cape Chess Interim Committee as mandated by the Eastern Cape regions. OR Tambo, as a member of the Eastern Cape Chess, has taken a decision to rally behind its province and support the province of the Eastern Cape Chess. The OR Tambo Chess wishes to state that they don't support the doings of Chess South Africa in Eastern Cape and will support the provincial initiatives that are developmental to the province. Or Tambo Chess will once have convinced that Eastern Cape Chess Interim is not doing as mandated, have an opinion to put a motion to recall the interim board. At the moment, no such mandate has been given. Eastern Cape Chess has suitable and qualified administrators that can drive provincial affairs. There is no leadership deficiency. Democracy prevailed. OR Tambo Chess will continue liaising with the Provincial Interim Committee and support the initiatives of the province as protected by the Constitution. We support the Eastern Cape Chess having elections, but proper procedures shall be followed, and people with clear intentions to lead the process for democratic elections. Regards. L. Valanti and G. Meyer. So the executive structure here obviously has the, Okay, so we'll move on to the third one now. Alfred Nzo. There's an Alfred Nzo district in the Eastern Cape. Also writes a letter to Chess South Africa Executive Board, CC the Eastern Cape Chess, regarding the re-dissolution and appointment of an administrator in the Eastern Cape Chess. Yes, sir, or madam. Why do they keep saying yes or madam when they're writing to Andra Lewaks? They know he's a sir. They're worried he might not be identifying as a sir. All right. So it says, the Alfred Nzo Chess remains committed in growing itself and is happy with how the Eastern Cape Chess has been run. The Alfred Nzo will not sign its powers away as a provincial council member to an administrator, as it will keep its powers on decision making. It is capable of running its affairs, and it intends to learn what it needs to learn and at its own pace, as long as that will benefit players in region. If the Eastern Cape Chess was funded but cannot account on those funds, then the Alfred Nzo will ask for an appointment of an administrator to the relevant stakeholders, as that authority remains with the Alfred Nzo Chess. Yours sincerely, Louis Omdokwe, Secretary. Signed the 31st of July. And the executive members are Olani Mpitseni, Tolibizi, and Louis Omdokwe, Andy Somzai, and our CEO. Okay, we'll move on now to another one, the fourth one now, from Joe Klabi Chess. Joe Klabi Chess Association, again, the fourth region in the Eastern Cape, out of the 8, if I remember correctly, right? And it says, for the attention of Chess South Africa Executive Board, regarding our subject, support of progressive Eastern Cape Chess. At the Eastern Cape, it says, as the Eastern Cape Province Chess Council, we are facing challenges and counter progressive actions that would nullify our great gains and attempts to lift the game of chess in the province to higher levels of play and administration. It's about 3 years now that the provincial structure has been formed and working hard to encourage regions to form permanent structures and ultimately be in good standing. Provincial activities are done in good spirit and become a success. Road shows in my region on the 13th July gave hope to the region, where more than 60 players gathered for the first time to play the game that is in their hearts. For my region, Joe Klabi, it has not been easy to form the permanent structure that is now in existence from the 13th of July 2024 through the assistance and guidance of the present Provincial Interim Committee, which works so hard that everything be in good order. It never failed to understand the conditions under which regions operate. This includes poor parents, remote and marginalized communities, lack of resources, and many more barriers for desired progress. So it continues to say, There are allegations that this provincial committee is working unconstitutionally and should be disbanded, and the province be led by the administrator. As people on the ground and who feel the pinch, we don't acknowledge and see all what Chess South Africa is fighting and proposing to be done in this mighty province. And we, as Joe Tabi, say we are not ready to be administered by anybody from outside. We can run our own affairs, and we have already set a date for our permanent provincial chess structure elections, where relevant bodies will be notified and invited to such elections, as we are not fighting anyone in the structure, but only to make it permanent. As Joe Klabi, we disregard and dishonor anything that is trying to destabilize us and the Eastern Cape Chess Federation. Could everything, could everything done so far by Chess South Africa be reversed for the proper progress of our province? Yours in sports development, Court Daimane, Joe Klabi Chess Association President. Whew. And I see there's members book Takani, Tilebu. Okay, let's just move on quickly to the next one. That's like 4 now, right? Okay. Whew. Hey. All right, there's Chris Hani. Did I read the one from Chris Hani? Chris Hani Chess. That's number 5. Chris Hani Chess writes as follows. Dear sir, or dear sirs or madams, we, Chris Hani Chess Association, did not mandate the Chess South Africa Executive Board to appoint an administrator in the Eastern Cape Chess. On that note, it is rejecting the advances of appointment of an administrator and will continue working with the Eastern Cape Chess Interim Executive Committee we mandated. The Eastern Cape Chess is executing our mandate. Yeah, the Eastern Cape Chess is executing our mandate well as the provincial council member. Hope you find this in order. Yours sincerely, Ntombazuka Stephanie. That's number 5, right? Is that number 5? Yes, that's number 5. It should be another one. Oh yes, I found the other one. The next one is from Sarah Batman. That's the 6th one. That's number 6 now, right? Number 6 is from Sarah Batman. It says it's from the 16th of August. I think it's the latest one. It's from the 16th of August. It says, Mr. Lewaks, President, Chess South Africa. Dear Mr. Lewaks, subject objection to the appointment of an administrator for the Eastern Cape Chess. It says, the Sarah Batman District Chess Union wishes to express our strong objection to the recent appointment of an administrator for Eastern Cape Chess. This decision was made without acknowledging or engaging with the Eastern Cape Interim Committee, which was established to oversee the province's chess affairs. Furthermore, we do not agree with the unilateral decision to dissolve the Eastern Cape Chess Union and subsequent interim committees. We believe that this decision was not ratified by the National Council, nor was there any consultation with all regions and all clubs in the Eastern Cape prior to this contentious dissolution. Chess South Africa Exco's failure to recognize and work through the interim committee constitutes a deviation from established protocol. I love it when people mention protocol, right? Okay. We do not understand why the committee was bypassed and why there was direct engagement with regional structures undermining the existing governance framework. As one of the most active regions of the province, with over 500 active players, we reiterate our commitment to the Eastern Cape Interim Committee. We will continue to collaborate with the committee to ensure the growth and development of chess in our province. We urge Chess SA Exco to recognize and work with the Eastern Cape Interim Committee, respect autonomy of the Eastern Cape Chess, allowing us to operate according to our constitution, support our efforts towards holding provincial elections. We believe that a collaborative approach grounded in protocol and respect for existing structures is essential for the prosperity of chess in our province. Sincerely yours, Peter van Nieuwenhuizen, Sarah Batman District Chess Union. Whew. Wow. And there's Keith Abercrombie, Sianda, Peter. All right, that's everyone in the executive committee. But yes, that is number 6. 6 regions. Note that 6 regions out of the 8 stand with the executive committee of the Eastern Cape, right? Yeah. All right, and here's what follows afterwards. Afterwards follows a letter from now. Okay, here follows a letter from the Eastern Cape chess, right? The suspended Eastern Cape chess, the dissolved one. So here's now a letter from Lewaks, I think, yes. No, it's not. Yes, but obviously it's from his executive committee, that interim structure that has been suspended. So it reads, to presidents and secretaries, Eastern Cape chess regions, 30 July 2024, notice of an elective AGM for the Eastern Cape chess. They are moving forward. So it says, dear members, notice of an elective annual general meeting is hereby given to the members of the Eastern Cape chess. The Provincial Council of the Eastern Cape chess has set and determined the dates and venue for the elective AGM of the Eastern Cape chess, then agreed on the following. Date 27 September 2024 at Mthatha at 7 in the evening. It's during the event, there's going to be the Eastern Cape Chess Championships 2024. More details will be shared in due course, as well as timelines for all required processes will be communicated. We're looking forward to see you in the elective AGM. Yours sincerely, Sindiswa Nkanyi from the Eastern Cape. Okay, so that's that, right? And on top of that, there's now another. So there's like a whole lot that's been happening in the Eastern Cape, right? Yeah, notice of an elective AGM. Yes, we've just read that. I'm just going to quickly look at this communication now. So Luzuko writes to Lewaks and Nicole and the Freak Giza. So here's an email that says, Dear Lewaks, the Eastern Cape Chess Districts have democratically chosen their representatives, and we will not be swayed by your authoritarian approach or Western Cape-centric tactics. Eastern Cape is not a colony. Your actions, including the unconstitutionally dissolution of the Eastern Cape chess structure and failure to produce minutes, have not been ratified by the National Council of Chess South Africa. Your attempts to undermine our relationships with stakeholders and impose your will on our province will not be tolerated. The National Council has questions about your actions, including, number 1, your delegation to the FIDE General Assembly. Okay. Number 2, your son's unqualified participation in national events. Number 3, the failure of your executive committee members to vacate provincial positions. Number 4, the handing over process between you and Hendrik du Toit. I did mention that there's going to be an episode on that one alone as well. We will not be intimidated by your suspension letters or your attempts to divide our province. The Provincial Council has mandated us to execute its decisions, not yours. We reject your administrator and your agenda, and we will continue to run our province autonomously. If you do not cease your actions, we will take legal action. We are not afraid of you, and we will protect our province's interest. Sincerely, Luzukundinisa, Eastern Cape Chess. Whew. Yeah, ne? Right. So that's what's been happening in the Eastern Cape, because we asked for updates and we were given updates. So that's what's been happening. And here's another interesting interaction now between a parent and the administrator. This is how things went. So this one that was now the structures speaking, right? They've spoken officially. Now here's the parent. Listen to this. This is the parent. The parent writes an email to advocate, dear advocate Frick Giza. I was given your email address and told to contact you if I had a specific query about any chess competition, qualification, or colors. They failed to mention in what capacity you would be responding. Please, would you be so kind as to let me know what position you hold so that I can forward you my query? Thank you very much, Mrs. Kerry Fainison. And then Mrs. Steinison, Advocate Frick Giza responds, Mrs. Steinison, I was appointed by the Executive Board of Chess South Africa to act as the administrator of Eastern Cape Chess. My duty is to facilitate the elections of a new provincial executive for the Eastern Cape Chess Association. I also advise the Chess South Africa Executive Board on all issues relating to my main instruction, namely to facilitate the elections. Yours faithfully, Frick Giza. It continues. Dear Advocate Geza, thank you for your reply. Please, would you be so kind as to forward a copy of the official announcement of your appointment as administrator of Eastern Cape Chess and National Council's ratification of Chessa's decision to suspend Eastern Cape Chess? Thank you very much. Kind regards, Gary Thainison. It comes again, and then Advocate Geza replies, Mrs. Thainison. Kindly find attached my appointment by Chess South Africa and also my terms of reference. This appointment was confirmed by the Eastern Cape Sports Council. Not the Chess Council. Why not though? Although you should approach the Secretary of Chess South Africa regarding the questions of the ratification of the decision to suspend the Eastern Cape Chess Association by the National Council, I will attempt to explain the current position. Please note that the clause 17 of the Chess South Africa Constitution determines that the Executive Board of Chess South Africa may suspend a member under certain circumstances. The National Council should consider the suspension at the next National Council meeting. As far as I'm aware, no meeting of the National Council has been held since the imposition of the suspension. Therefore, the suspension has not been considered by the National Council. I am sure that the suspension of the Eastern Cape Chess Association will be on the agenda at the next meeting of the National Council, as required by the Constitution. I appreciate your interest in the process to put Eastern Cape Chess on a strong footing again. I will do everything in my power to finalize the democratic, fair, and transparent elections as soon as possible. Yours faithfully, F. Giza. All right, there's a response now from Mrs. Thason. Dear Mr. Giza, thank you for your reply to my email of last week. I haven't seen any confirmation by Eastern Cape Sports Council. Would you kindly forward that to me, please? Unfortunately, it is very difficult to approach the Secretary of Chess South Africa as letterheads show that the position is vacant. And my previous emails have bounced back as the Secretary email isn't working. Would you please be so kind as to forward me a copy of the Chess South Africa Constitution and rules that you quote from? You say that it allows the ex-board to suspend a member under certain circumstances, but you fail to mention which ones were applicable here. I would love to see clause 17.1 and the rest of the Constitution and rules where, example, administrators' roles and appointments are detailed. Could you please forward communication or let me know when the Eastern Cape Chess Board was warned about a potential suspension and or contravention of e.g. rules, and when their hearing was held where they were able to defend the charges, or was the suspension just announced? Seems odd to me that an administrator was appointed 2 weeks later than the original Chess statement said the appointment would be, without having the decision ratified by National Council, especially seeing as ratification seems to be a constitutional requirement according to the Chess South Africa announcement. You appear to have started in a role as if you already know the outcome of the National Council decision. In my mind, that would seem to be fruitless expenditure appointing an administrator, especially if National Council doesn't ratify the suspension. I would have thought administrators would only be appointed once suspension has been upheld. You mentioned elections. While on the subject, could you advise when the commissions and technical committees will be announced? And if Eastern Cape members were part of that process, please. Thank you very much. Kind regards, Kerry Thainison. Then it continues. There's a response now from Advocate Giza. Mrs. Thainison. In your initial correspondence, you indicated that you were concerned about and had questions regarding chess competitions, qualifications, or colors. You inquired in what capacity I would reply to your questions. I provided you with the documentation regarding my appointment as administrator. I also explained the constitutional requirements regarding the suspension of a member of Chess South Africa to you. From your further correspondence, it seems you have no questions regarding competitions, qualifications, or colors, but you have concerns regarding the legitimacy of my appointment by Chess SA Executive Board and the suspension of the Eastern Cape Chess Association. I have provided you with the relevant documents and as well as the terms of reference of my duties. I am not going to engage with you regarding my appointment or the suspension of the Eastern Cape Chess Association, as those aspects fall outside my mandate. I can, however, assure you that I am not compensated in any way or form for any duties or functions I perform for the Chess SA Expo, as you intimate in your email. If you are not satisfied with the manner in which I execute my duties or the manner in which the EC Chess Association was suspended, you are invited to lodge a complaint either with the Grievance Committee or the Constitutional Committee of Chess South Africa. I have included the President of Chess South Africa and the Acting Secretary of Chess South Africa in our correspondence in case they would like to respond to your questions. Yours faithfully, Frick Giza. Okay, F Giza. So now F Giza suggests that there are committees. Why are we not aware of all these committees? Because this email suggests that there is a constitutional committee, etc. And then again, now there's again another response from Mrs. Thaynison. Dear Mr. Giza, thank you for your email. The head of FIDE Ethics Committee had given me your email address and I was told to contact you regarding chess competitions, qualifications, or colors. He hadn't indicated in what capacity you were able to help me, and so I asked you. Your reply led to further questions that I had about the validity of your appointment. Questions that I had about the validity of your appointment and your ability to help me. I most certainly do have questions about competitions, qualifications, and colors, but as these were already raised with Mr. Lewaks and sent to Secretary and Ministers of Sports and Education, I was inquiring to establish if you were indeed able to help me, given that National Council has not yet ratified the dissolution. I would be happy to lodge complaints with the various Chess SA committees you mentioned. Please provide the names of the members and their contact details, as again, Secretary email as listed on Communications and Chess website does not work. And only the ratings database portion of the Chess South Africa website is functional. Kind regards, Kerry Thaynison. And then now comes a response from Andra Lewaks. This is a funny one. Dear Miss Thaynison. It says Miss now, and she says she was Mrs. in the beginning. This man. Dear Miss Thaynison, as a chess parent, I would like to advise you on the following. Please familiarize yourself with policies and protocols regarding communication as per Chess SA Constitution. If you communicate with the administrator of Eastern Cape Chess, then there is no need to include all these people as well as suspended people. If you are a chess parent, then follow protocol. I will also request the Eastern Cape Chess Administrator, Advocate Giza, to no longer respond to you because you need to learn and respect protocol. Both SASCOC and the International Chess Federation respect Federation protocol, and you and Eastern Cape people follow Federation protocols, but you continue to follow this trajectory. What does it say? Both SASCOC and the International Federation respect Federation protocol, and you and Eastern Cape people follow Federation protocols, but you continue to follow this trajectory. We are trying to help the Eastern Cape Chess get to a democratic election so that they can be full members of the National Council, since they did not have democratic elections for more than 4 years. But we will not be able to support them and yourself if there is no discipline. My advice to you is that you want to submit concerns as a parent, then follow the protocols. I will also no longer respond to you unless you follow protocol and respect the Federation rules and protocols. Andra Lewaks, Chess South Africa, President. This main point about protocol, it's a very serious one, the one about protocol. Andra is apparently failing to follow protocol now in his approach to the Eastern Cape, but is really very good at preaching protocol. This man doesn't practice what he preaches, does he now? And then there's an email now back from Mrs. Stason, and Mrs. Stason, it says, "Dear Mr. Lewaks, you mentioned policies and protocol 8 times in your email below, yet you do not include a copy of these protocols or policies. None appear on Chess SA website either. You speak of respect and discipline, but your reply to me is highly disrespectful, stating that you will request that Advocate Gizan to no longer respond to you because you need to learn and respect protocol. Please don't speak to me as if I am a preschool child. I am a chess parent and I am allowed to query issues regarding the sport. Have some respect for the parents and players you are supposed to represent. Please advise where parents are able to download policies and protocols which you referred to 8 times but failed to attach to the email. Kind regards, Mrs. Kerry Thainison." Whew. No. Make of it what you will. But hey, I've seen enough. This is the state of chess in the Eastern Cape. We obviously asked for a follow-up and we were provided obviously with information by those that listen and follow Chess and Wine. Thank you very much for this. Thank you very much for the letters, obviously from the regions. Thank you very much for the communication, Mrs. Kerry Thainison. And yeah, I think, and everyone else for their contribution to making this possible. I think everybody sees now where things stand. But again, our president, hey, he speaks a lot about respecting protocol and policies when he himself is not a very good example. He doesn't lead by example. But it's not just me. I think everybody else sees that. Yeah. Good evening. In fact, no, good evening. Next up, we will need to focus on how the what do you call this? How the handover was screwed by the incompetence of the executive board that failed to include the National Council in the process. But I don't know, man. Yeah, we'll look at that. I've got receipts.